Woo! Good evening. Oh, good night. Welcome to Bucko's Locker. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. How about that? Subscribe, like, comment, share on all the videos. And don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you all new videos that's posted on this channel. Shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Welcome to another episode of Locker Room Talk with your host. Whoo! I know everybody is up in arms right now, half of the Bucs community. But I will say this. Let me start out by saying this. Everybody needs to calm down. My goodness. What is wrong with y'all? Calm down. Okay? Everybody relax. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Okay? Let me give you some shout outs. Who's in the building? Who's in the locker room? Sal, what's up, man? Fred, Jonathan Brutus, Amy and cream cheese. We friends. Amy and cream cheese. We friends. Okay. Never seen that. Never seen. Never. You must be new. Michael Alexander, man. What's up, man? Buzz Game 101. Michael, how y'all doing over there with Derek Carr? Crybaby Carr. I'm gonna call. You know. I'm gonna call him Crybaby Carr. I'm gonna find me a crybaby sound effect for Derek Carr. See, last year Andy Dalton had the T-shirt. The pew 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 pew. Terrible. Didn't go anywhere, Andy Dalton. Then you turn around and get a younger version of Andy Dalton, Mr. Wang 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 Wang, Derek Carr. Crybaby, quit on your team. Quit on the Raiders. What quarterback that's high level has done that? But anyway, enough of that. Enough of that. Rumble Pack. Trill G-Bo, what's up? Uncle Toasty 215, Damien. He said we moving where? Where you going? Kimberly Watson, what's going on? Don't get mad at me. I'm just calling y'all. Y'all know him. How many points did Derek Carr put up against y'all last year when y'all played the Raiders? Don't worry, I'll wait. How many points did he put up against y'all when y'all played him last year? How many points did Derek Carr put up against the Saints when he played for the Raiders? Don't worry, I'll wait. Anyway. Exactly. Derek Carr is much worse than Brady. So what does that tell you? Y'all ain't upgrade. Y'all went parallel. Y'all went from Andy Dalton to a younger version of Andy Dalton. Anyway, don't try to come at us. Don't y'all act like y'all going somewhere with Derek Carr. Please sit down, Saints fans. Sit down. You have no reason to be bragging. It's not like Derek Carr way better than Baker Mayfield. Both of them ain't that good. So anyway, Baker Mayfield is Todd Bowles named Baker Mayfield the starter. I know, right? I gotta calm down. It ain't even week 4 yet. She got me started. She started it. Don't get mad at me. She started it. Kim started it. I didn't do it. She came at me. So yeah, like they going to what Derek Carr. Give me a break. Have you seen his numbers in the red zone and third downs? Come on, man. Where it matters. Matter of fact, y'all back a quarterback better than y'all started. Anyway, don't let me go there. Anyway, so Todd Bowles, Todd Todd Bowles. Kim, don't get look. Save it for week 4. Come back to me at week 4. I'm gonna get. You know. Let me write this down. Kimberly Watson talking noise about our quarterback situation when she got Andy Dalton Jr. Okay, cool, gotcha. So, good evening and good night, everybody. For the third time, Todd Bowles named Baker Mayfield the starting quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the 2023 season. Are you going to be at the game, Saints fans? Because I would be at the Superdome, please. I would be at the Superdome. You best believe it. I will be at the Superdome. Anyway, so the reaction, a lot of mixed reviews. Don't duck no smoke. I'll be at the game, so don't run. Come find me. A lot of mixed reviews about the decision for Todd Bowles. And let me give you a caveat about Todd Bowles and the Baker Mayfield connection. There was an article, a couple of reports saying that Todd Bowles actually liked Baker Mayfield when he was the head coach for the Jets, which is weird. So it's almost similar, and I hate to keep bringing up the Aints into this, but you know, Dennis Allen and Todd Bowles are really similar. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I got you. Todd Bowles and Dennis Allen are very similar when it comes to thought processes, when it comes to quarterbacks. They both like conservative. Well, I ain't gonna say conservative because Baker Mayfield is far from that, but he's still not good. But they both want to rely on their defense. You know what I'm saying? And both teams got good defenses, but in the Bucs in particular situation, I understand why they did it for multiple reasons. Okay, and I'm gonna give you my take on this. And congratulations to Baker Mayfield. Archie, what's up, man? Brent, what's up? Congratulations to Baker Mayfield. Some of us don't like the decision. Some of us are in the middle. Some of us don't give a damn, don't care. Some of us happy that Baker Mayfield starting, whatever. Me, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? As far as I care about the Bucs. Don't really care about Baker Mayfield. I really don't. And there's no hate toward him, you know what I'm saying? And nobody's excluded from criticism. I criticize Brady, Mac Evans, I don't care. And Baker Mayfield will not be excluded from my criticism. So if he does something bad, I will talk about it. If he does something good, I will talk about it. That's how it's going to work over here. So Baker Mayfield got the job. He didn't do much in preseason to get the job, which is interesting. The point that people are making, like he was in a tough battle with Kyle Trask, a third-year quarterback, last pick in the second round, fifth-year starter, drafted late, So it was not like was it really a competition? You know what I'm saying? But was it really a competition? From the minute they hired or they signed Baker Mayfield, but the minute they signed Baker Mayfield, was it really a competition? Because the way it played out, it don't seem like it was really much Baker Mayfield had to do to win the job. Yeah, I get it. In training camp, I think that was just all smoke and mirrors. I got to keep it 100 or keep it 1,000. It seemed now that everything's coming out, was it smoke and mirrors the entire time? Did they know this the minute they signed Baker Mayfield? And if that's the case, why did they just name him the starter? Anybody with football brain can tell you why they signed Baker Mayfield. Anybody with a football eye would have told you, Baker Mayfield starting before Kyle Trask. The name alone. The Bucs brass still believes there's hope in Baker Mayfield. And here's the interesting thing about it. Baker Mayfield had no other options to start around the league. He had no team wanted him to start. We'll get to Kyle Trask in a little bit, but I wanted to talk about Baker Mayfield. No team was going to pay him starter money. Even the Bucs wasn't going to pay him starter money. They couldn't anyway, but you get what I'm saying. This was his only option to get an opportunity to start again. Because any other team he would have went to, he would have been a backup, or the rookie would have got drafted, and Baker Mayfield would have been a backup. You know what I'm saying? So mixed reviews about the decision from Todd Bowles. A lot of people are not feeling Todd Bowles, despite the fact that he named Baker Mayfield the starter. This is on Todd Bowles. This is on Todd Bowles. This, as the season move along, this is going to be watched very closely in the Bucs community, because mixed bag, man. It's a mixed bag. You know, who are you talking to, Rashad West? I know you ain't talking to me about jumping the bag. You must got here late, because you clearly missed the beginning. Who's jumping the bag? I'm just telling you how I see it. Mixed reviews. Some people got good takes, some people got bad takes. I'm gonna give you the football take. I'm gonna support the Bucs, win, lose, or draw. Whoever the starting quarter, I'm going to support the team because I value the team over a player. Remember, I'm always going to pick the team over the player. I don't care who the player is. I'm always going to support the team first because I'm a Bucs fan first. I was a Bucs fan before any other Bucs player in the last 20 plus years got to the team. You know what I'm saying? So let's make that clear. One man don't make the team, but since we are in a quarterback-driven league, how far can the Bucs go with Baker Mayfield as a starting quarterback? And if you tally a poll up around the league and look at the outlook for the Bucs, it's not great. It's not great, right? And we just got to live with the good and live with the bad. I mean, we complained about multiple quarterbacks in the Bucs franchise, and this one ain't gonna be no different. They even complained about Tom Brady. But at the end of the day, you are a Bucs fan, right? You are a Bucs fan. And regardless of how this season turned out with Baker Mayfield and or Kyle Trask as a starting quarterback, I'm going to support the team. It's going to be painful. Trust me, folks. It's going to be painful, especially when we play the Bills, the Eagles, the 49ers, and probably even the Lions. It's going to be really painful. Very painful in those games. For a multitude of reasons. The talent gap at quarterback is so far apart. And since we like to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, well, since some of you like to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, it's a quarterback-driven league, and Baker Mayfield is not even top half quarterback rankings. Just from the eye test, he's not even top half. So what does that tell you? Brace yourself, folks. And even some of the Panthers fans has spoken about this, and they had Baker Mayfield. And it was one particular guy, I forgot his name. He said, history repeats itself. And I had to go into the details on the video that he showed. So the history with Baker Mayfield is, or history repeats itself. It's funny how this works out because around last year, you know, when Baker Mayfield went to the Panthers, it was the same exact approach that the Panthers took, that the Bucs did this past offseason. Pretty much. Almost mirror image. You mean to tell me when I listen to the video, Baker Mayfield in Carolina's training camp, and oh yeah, Baker Mayfield, this is his job outright. This is his job to lose. Sam Darnold's there. Blah 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 blah. Baker Mayfield gets the job. It all sounded good in preseason and training camp. It all looked good. All that was cute. But when the season hit, it was booty dean. It was terrible. And I believe he won one game before he got benched. And I see this offseason happen with Baker Mayfield with the Bucs. It's eerie similar to the Carolina situation. What I mean by the situation is when Baker Mayfield got signed, all the hype, all the talk, all the attention, the blah, 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 blah. And here we go again. Exactly, Sam Darnold. It's Kyle Trask, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask, eerie similar quarterback competition, and Baker Mayfield somehow wins the job. Actually, he did more. What's up, Felix? He did more for Carolina preseason than he did for Tampa. He played one game and threw 9 passes, and didn't play in the second game, and that was enough for the Bucs, specifically Todd Bowles, Jason Light, and the brass to say he's our starter. He didn't have to try hard to win the job. You know, I was at the practice, Rashad. I went to a practice. Did you go to a practice? I couldn't go to all of them because I don't live in Tampa, but I flew down to Tampa and attended a practice while I was there. So let's get it. I do this. I'm a real Bucs fan. So where do we go from here? All I'm gonna say, folks, to be honest with you, before I wrap this up, buckle up. Buckle up. And take the good with the bad with the good. You know, Browns fans spoken about it, Panthers fans spoken about it. These are teams that had Baker Mayfield for extended amount of time. And now we up next. Now we finna experience the Baker Mayfield roller coaster. As for Kyle Trask, probability versus possibility. There's a high probability that he plays this season. So if I was Kyle Trask, I would not hold my head down based on Baker Mayfield's history. Even with a much better team or a team that had a better running game and a top 5 O-line, a top 5 run game, he still couldn't cut it. Now he comes to the Bucs, and the Bucs do not have a top 5 O-line, and they do not have a top 5 run game. What do you think the outcome is going to be? I'm just calling it how I see it. Not saying that it's going to happen, it's going to be a terrible season, but I always put this caveat in there. Going into the season, the Bucs are so far away from being a top 5 run team. They are so far away from being a top 5 O-line, and he had that in Cleveland and could not cut it. What makes you and then what makes it even harder for Baker? And it's not Baker's fault. It's just a situation he's in right now with the Bucs. Don't have a top 5 O-line, don't have a top 5 running back group, don't have a top OC. What does that tell you? Major red flags for the Bucs. This can get really ugly. Or remember, the ceiling for me for the Bucs is not high. So I'm prepared for the season. I'm prepared for the Bucs. I'm prepared for the battle, the rigorous disappointment from the OC to the quarterback to the run game to the OC, and the excitement from the defense. That's what's going to be the most exciting part about the Bucs, the defense. Let's be real. Baker Mayfield make a couple plays here and there. That's what he usually does. We've seen this. The tape is on him, and they can spin it how they want to spin it about this system fits him good and all that, yada, 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 yada. But if you don't have a solid O-line and a really good run game, you're going to struggle. Those waggles and those rollouts and those bootlegs are not going to work if you can't run the ball. You must protect Baker Mayfield. Dave Canales, in order for the Bucs to have some success this season, they must protect Baker Mayfield from himself. What I mean by that is he can't have the weight of the shoulders of the offense on him. He doesn't need to be the reason why the Bucs win the game or lose the game. He needs to be a part of it. There will be some struggles in offense early in the season. I'm gonna give it about 7 to 9 weeks. There will be struggle. There will be a pocket that the offense look good, and it's gonna be against a terrible team. We're gonna look good against terrible teams. Trust me. What I mean about the Bucs are going to look good, I mean just overall, they're going to look good against a terrible team. But I'm going to emphasize this: teams with a competent defense, with a competent coach, competent offense, competent defense, competent special teams, or above a competent level coach or above, the Bucs are going to struggle against those teams. Should I go down the schedule? Let's go down the schedule for Baker Mayfield. I know some of y'all got the Bucs winning multiple games or double digit games, which I can respect that. But the reality always wins. And the situation the Bucs in is not great, and you know it. It's just being wishful thinking, but the reality, we've watched football for years. We've seen teams like the Bucs before. I wouldn't be surprised the Bucs end up like the Jets last year, a championship level defense, but the offense just can't get out its own way. So let's get down to the business. Let's go down the schedule. I'm not picking the record right now. I already did that in the off season. I will do my final record breakdown before the day before the season starts. So the Bucs' first game of the season, they play the Vikings. Vikings got a little decent D line, right? Bears up and coming, but I think we'll beat the Bears. Hopefully, right? The Bears did make some improvements, but I'm still not a believer in Justin Fields yet. He's never thrown for 300 yards in a game. So I don't know about Justin Fields. So I think we can beat them, but you get what I'm saying. But the Bears defense in particular. And then we play the Eagles. Need I say more? Baker Mayfield against the Eagles defense. You can't be serious. This is going into the season. I'm just telling you going into the season. I'm not saying we're going to lose or anything like that. I'm just saying, picture that. Baker Mayfield in the Eagles defense. This is a elite defense. Loaded at D-line. And where are the Bucs struggle at? Quarterback, O-line, run game. If you can't control the offensive line of scrimmage with the run game, the O-line, you're going to lose against the Eagles. Hands down. And then the Saints, right after the Eagles, another tough game. We know how the Saints defense is. They always give the Bucs problems. Regardless of how much you hate the Saints, and I don't like the Saints, but I give credit where it's due. Their defense always calls the Bucs problems. Year in and year out. And then the Lions, a hot up-and-coming team, a competent coach, competent offense, competent defense. They are poised for a breakout season. They like the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then the Falcons, they trying to make some noise, which I think they just blowing smoke. And then the Buffalo Bills. I'm not even going to go in that situation. The defense is going to have to play the lights out to even compete in that game. Can't do a bunch of 3-and-outs against the Bills because you're going to lose. Then we should be able to, the Texans, okay. The Titans, okay. There's that pocket right there. Then we turn around and play the 49ers. Good luck with that. You think Todd Bowles is going to outcoach Kyle Shanahan? Not even close. 35-7 last year with Tom Brady. You really think Todd Bowles is going to outcoach Kyle Shanahan? No way in hell. Unless there's some major injuries to the 49ers, you get what I'm saying. And then we turn around, and the 49ers defense ain't no joke. So good luck, Baker Mayfield. And then we got the Colts. Okay, Colts, I don't know what they're doing over there. They're trying to trade Jonathan Taylor. Maybe the Bucs should get him. I don't know. And then we got the pesky Panthers, the Carolina Kitty Cats defense. The Carolina Kitty, and I'm doing this. I'm looking at Baker Mayfield. I'm looking at the defenses that he's going to play against. That's my main focus. I'm not worried about the Bucs defense. I'm worried about the Bucs offense. The O-line, quarterback, and the run game. It's a problem. No matter how many times you cut this and try to make a case, it's not a big deal. It's a big deal. The Panthers defense is pesky. And they look, and we saw it last year. Then we play the Falcons again. Whatever. Then the Packers defense, they're not bad. Then the Jaguars, they're up and coming, like the Lions. This ain't no easy schedule, folks. There's a couple winnable games. There's a clear games that we can win, but a lot of these games ain't just gimme games. And then we play the Saints again on the 31st. Pesky Saints and the pesky Panthers. Last 2 games of the season. So the last 4 games of the season. It's funny. The Brady effect is real because when Brady was here, we didn't have the end of the season like this. You notice that? Go back and look at the Bucs schedule. The last 3, 4, 5 games. And this year, no Brady. Last 4 games. Packers, Jaguars, Saints, Panthers. All tough games. All tough games. Never had that with Tom Brady. Never had the end of the season really, really, really tough games. And we better pray on the offensive side of the ball that the Bucs do not get any major injuries. Any major injuries to the Bucs is going to be a disaster. I mean, it's almost like the Bucs got to be 100% healthy for 17 games to be successful. And it's hard to be healthy 17 games straight. So my point is, Baker Mayfield, there's a lot of pressure on him. There's a lot of pressure on him. The tape is on him, so nobody's scared of him. It's just you gotta take what you can get. And I'm telling you right now, about 4 or 5 games to the season, if the Bucs struggling, you know what's gonna happen. When you don't have a franchise quarterback and you have a quarterback in there that's struggling, what happens? What happens? Here come the chatty patties. But Kyle Trask, I'll guarantee you, I wouldn't be surprised the first game of the season they start talking about Kyle Trask playing. Some of the Bucs fans. Let the Bucs struggle against the Vikings. Let them struggle against the Vikings. Oh, put Kyle Trask in 1 game of the season. Give the man a chance. That's all I'm saying with Baker Mayfield. You might not like him. You might be anti-Baker, but let the man play. He's the starter. Support it. Whether you like it or not, support it. That's the point. But Todd Bowles is on the clock. From today until the last game of the season, January 7th, he's on the clock. I'm telling you right now, that defense might be good. Oh, it will be good, not might. But I'm telling you right now, if the Bucs are struggling as a team, he ain't gonna make it. And what did I tell you about Todd Bowles' decision making? It's very important. He had a whole offseason to himself. His offseason. Got his people in there, his draft picks. It was no Arian situation in the way. It's all Todd Bowles this season. He had a losing season with Tom Brady. How many head coaches can do that? You gotta be inept to have a losing season with Tom Brady. Despite what the Bucs went through last year, the Bucs should have been at least over 500. Let's be real. But we saw in the games last year, crucial moments, Todd Bowles couldn't cut it. Couldn't throw a rock in the ocean with his decision making. Remember the Cleveland game? So when he made the decision to make Baker Mayfield the starter, it's on him. He's on the clock as of today. He's on my clock. How about that? It's going to be a hell of a ride. And I'm going to be looking at Todd Bowles and being critiqued. I'm going to critique him even harder this season. I'm going to get to that point. My Christ. I remember I brought this up a while ago. This looks like the Jets situation. Good defense, but the offense just can't get out of his own way. I wish he was in a situation like Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott, defensive-minded coach, but he got an elite quarterback. If Todd Bowles had an elite quarterback, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But the fact that he's in the conversation. I'm going to keep saying this. Going into the season, it does not look good, and you know it. You can play, you can bat an eye to it, you can play blind man and all you want to, but keep it 100, keep it real. My expectations is not high. I don't trust Todd Bowles. Forget, let's put Baker Mayfield to the side because he's tied to Todd Bowles for this season. But this does look like the Jets situation again. Took over a winning team and ran it to the ground. And the Jets, it took the Jets forever to recover. And they didn't recover no time soon. And when we refresh our memory, the Jets, he went 10-6 his first year. And after that, it went downhill. His first season with the Bucs was 9-8, not 10-6. So he was already, the arrow was already pointing down going into the season. There's a lot of us out here that's football heads. We've been watching the game for a long time, at the highest level of football, breakdowns to the lowest level. If you pay attention to football, you can see how you have an idea on how this is going to play out. If the Bucs stay healthy, they still have a low ceiling. We're not at the top of the level of the food chain when it comes to teams. Y'all know that. I think a lot of us can agree with that part. I think we know we're not at the top. Going into the season, I'm going to keep saying that. Going into the season, we're nowhere near the top. You know what I'm saying? When you look at all the teams, you can easily name 15 teams better than the Bucs. Easily. Where it gets tricky is when you start getting to that 20 range. When you like, oh, they ain't better than the Bucs. I think the Bucs, in my opinion, because of the defense in particular, we're better than 10, 12 teams already. Where it gets tricky is between 16 and 22. The Bucs can fall anywhere between 16 and 22 as far as teams rankings, because you can make an argument for those teams who's in front, who's not. And if it come down to coaching and quarterback, then you're going to go with the team with the better quarterback. That's how it usually works. So we don't know what's going to happen with the Bucs, but if you understand football, how this works, if you understand how football works, we've seen teams like this. New coordinator, new quarterback is going to be a struggle. Y'all know this. I just hope y'all prepare for that and don't get mad. How can you get mad at something that's a work in progress? As you can see, my demeanor, my attitude, I'm not overhyped. I'm not being like disappointment and like, oh, negative Nancy. I'm just giving you from a football perspective. I'm going to give this team time to grow. I'm going to grow with the team. That's why I set the bar low. I set the bar low so I can grow with the team. If the team overachieves, great. Great. If the team underachieves, I'm going to be like, well, okay. I'm just giving you from a football perspective. There's no yelling. There's no cussing. There's no trolling. There's no arguing. I'm not taking shots at nobody. I'm not mad at nobody's opinion about the Bucs and what they think about the Bucs, the record and all. I'm not mad. I'm just giving you from my point of view. You don't have to like it. That's cool. I respect you. You respect me. Now, if you don't respect me and you try to call me out and try to just make up some narrative, I got to call you out. For instance, see, now we got one. And the reason why I'm pivoting to this is because it's the Baker Mayfield situation. Every fan base go through this with a player. They have a player or two or three players. The minute you say something about them, people get upset. I'm calm, I'm chilling. I'm not even mad. I just know I'm already, my brain is already being prepared for the season, the Bucs and the roller coasters for the Bucs. If you think this season's going to be smooth as ice cream and smooth as pie, you're lying to yourself. Oh, don't worry about Marvin Christ. Don't worry about it. He one of them. He always been like that. I don't hate the guy, but he goes left with it. Oh, he's overreacting. I didn't even do nothing wrong. I didn't even do nothing wrong. I'm just telling you from a football perspective. He think I'm overreacting. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm just giving you my opinions. But I'm overreacting. So let me guess. If you say something about the Bucs, I can say you overreacting. See what I'm saying? See how that works? So if you can't respect the opinion that I'm giving, and sometimes my opinion turns into a fact. It's happened multiple times. So I'm not always right all the time, but if you go back and watch the tape the last few years, I've been kind of accurate. At least, if you say if you had to look at it from a quarterback's completion percentage, I would say I'm like 64%, 65% completion percentage when it comes to the Bucs. Especially last year. Like, come on, man. I'm not perfect, but come on, I'm getting some of these things right. I'm just giving you my perspective from my football thought process. And just like everybody else in the chat room, they give their football perspective from how they see the Bucs. Some of us are just going to see the Bucs different. Some of us see the Bucs being an elite team. That's cool. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. If you see the Bucs winning 12, 13, 14 games, I respect that because you did it last year. I respected that. I picked the Bucs to go 11-6 last year, 12-5, right up in there. What happened? We went 8-9. Okay, cool. I was off 4 games, 3-4 games. It happens. But that was going into the season. Now, this year, I keep saying this, going into the season, I don't believe we're going to win 10, 11, 12 games. I don't believe that. Going into the season. I got us, our floor probably is 4 to 5 wins. Our ceiling is probably 8, maybe 9 wins. That's if everything plays out right. But there's so many variables that's got to happen with the Bucs and other teams for this stuff to happen, right? Because the Bucs can turn around and have a good year. And folks, we got to let this stuff play out, but don't be afraid to speak your mind about what you see. Hashtag, what does your eyes tell you about the Bucs? When you look at the roster, what does your eyes tell you? Hashtag, what do your eyes tell you about the Bucs when you look at the roster? When I say look at the roster, the entire roster. I'm not talking about picking out Tristan Wirfs, Antoine Winfield Jr., Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. The roster. Look at the roster and compare them to, and if you think the Bucs are going to be really good, okay, well, compare the Bucs to the top level teams when it comes to the roster. And the head coach in the court, compare the Bucs to those teams. And you tell me what they fit in. In order for the Bucs to be an elite team, so many things has to happen based on what I see with the team. Coaching matters. Hashtag coaching matters. And if you think Todd Bowles is a high-level coach, then you tripping. Mediocre at best. He hasn't shown me anything that makes me believe he's a top-level coach. He's a top-level defensive coach, but a top-level head coach, he is so far from that. In my opinion, I can easily name 15 coaches better than him. When you have a team that has an elite side of the football, the Bucs have an elite defense. I know, right, King Cook? He hitching his bandwagon to Baker Mayfield. Because I'm gonna be honest, I think he would have got some leeway with Kyle Trask. But hitching your bandwagon to Baker Mayfield, the thing about the Bucs are expecting results. Y'all know that, right? This ain't no, we could just be competitive and all. No. The Bucs believe they are expecting results from Baker Mayfield. They are expecting results from Baker Mayfield immediately. They ain't always going to wait around and make he can develop. No. That's not how it works when it comes to this particular. Look at the situation for what it is. it's almost like they couldn't go into the season with Kyle Trask. You're asking to lose a lot of games with Kyle Trask. And that's no hate on Kyle Trask. He's just not ready. And I'm expecting him to play at some point this season, but Todd Bowles is one of them coaches that just, I don't think he's ever going to get it. This is it. If he don't get it with the Bucs, he ain't getting no another head coaching job. Y'all know that. He's made some weird decisions, and it's like, yo, fam. From the Ryan Jansen situation, the Luke Gedeke situation, you know, the Tom Brady situation, the Byron Leftwich situation, the Baker Mayfield situation, he just makes questionable decisions. And picking Baker Mayfield as the starting quarterback, it's a huge risk. Y'all know this. It's a risk. Trotting Baker Mayfield out there at this point of his career, 28 years old. You know, he's been in a good situation and he bombed that situation. So let me ask y'all this question: when he was with, and I like to do a comparison and contrast and a retrospect, right? When he was with Cleveland roster wasn't bad, and I keep emphasizing this because I'm looking at the Bucs and I'm like, that's not the same team. Peak Baker Mayfield is when he threw 26 touchdowns. Was it 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions? He had 3,500 yards plus, around about 3,500 and 33,563 yards, about 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. And that was with Chubb and Kareem Hunt in a top 5 O-line. He don't have that here. That was peak Baker Mayfield. They went what, 11 and 5? 10 and 6, something like that? That was peak Baker Mayfield, and that season is pretty much average at best. That was his best season, and that season was average. So all of a sudden, now don't get me wrong, he does have better, well, he has Godwin and Evans compared to what he had in Cleveland. I would take Godwin and Evans compared to Landry and Beckham, and then Njoku, Harrison Bryant. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? But now, if you fast forward and look at the situation that the Bucs in, I don't see too many of us running around here saying that the Bucs O-line is top 5 and the Bucs running game is top 5. I don't see many of us saying that. In order for Baker Mayfield to be effective, and I hope it goes like this. Really good running game, O-line blocking it butts off. That's how Baker Mayfield is going to be effective. Look what he had in Cleveland. That's how he was effective. His best season when the running game had about 2,000 yards. The defense was pretty good, which the Bucs do have a good defense. The O-line had 3 Pro Bowlers, possibly 4. You could have added 4 if you wanted to. But can you name 4 Pro Bowls on the O-line for the Bucs? Can you name 3? Can you name 2? You can name 1. Question marks at right tackle. That doesn't bode well for Baker Mayfield. He needs to be comfortable. He's not good against the blitz. He's not good under pressure. He's not great in the red zone. These are all facts. It's not me hating on this. These are, you can look it up yourself. I'm just saying. You can look it up for yourself. He against the blitz, under pressure, third downs, red zone, outside of some of those categories, some of those major categories that he's average at best. And that's reaching. He's never been a high scoring quarterback. Or a quarterback that can put up points. Hurts and Lamar, Allen, Herbert, Holmes, even Jared Goff putting up points. He's never been that type of quarterback. This is why I wish the Bucs was built better. And it's not that we could have done better for the Bucs to be in a better situation. And that because we went all in. You know, we went all in for 3 seasons, and I said this 3 years ago, it was going to backfire, and I told y'all this. I was right about that, and that was my opinion back then. I literally told y'all, going all in, Super Bowl bust and all that, it's going to hurt us down the line. And here we go. Fast forward. What did I tell you? People complaining about the O-line, they complaining about the quarterback, complaining about the running game, and they have every reason to complain. We were not set up for the future. I'm not saying we at ground zero because we're too good to be at ground zero. We're not the Cardinals. You know, we're not the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying? You feel me? It ain't looking good for the Bucs going into the season. There's too many question marks. Now, can we surprise people? Sure. It happens every year. There's a team that comes out of nowhere and like we weren't expecting that. But go look at what happens in those games when it comes to teams like that. They get every bounce, they get the calls, the crucial moments. You know, they get all these crucial things happens for it. All the variables happens for those teams to come out of nowhere. But we're not set up to win right now at a high level. Can we make noise? Yes, we can. But to win at a high level and consistently, we're not set up like that. And y'all know this as a team, not as a now defense. If the Bucs running game, I'm gonna say it like this: if the Bucs running game was better, I would have more confidence in the team. If the O-line was better and not with these question marks, I would have, even with the rookie Cody Mulch at right guard, if the other pieces was better outside of Tristan Morris and Cody Mulch, if the other pieces was solid and solidified, I would be okay. In the running game, we was like, well, the Bucs got a good running game. They got a good running back core. That's what I'm saying. We wasn't set up like that. Going all in came back to bite us in the long run. I told y'all. I did some foreshadowing 3 years ago. I told y'all this. You added 7 new starters in 2020. You traded out seven people and added 7 new people and got to the Super Bowl. Let me repeat that. And then now you fast forward, or they added seven new starters. Fast forward 3 years later, it's like, man, this is how fast the dynamics change with the team. It was almost like when it came to the salary cap situation, the Bucs really didn't care. They kind of just like, let's just try to get as many as we can in these 3 years, 2 or 3 years, and they did it. They tried, and I can't fault them for that. You have an opportunity. At least we got one. We would have liked to have at least 2. 2 would have made it like icing on the cake. But we got one. That's good. A lot of teams don't have one. You know what I'm saying? So at least we got one Super Bowl. But 3 years later, here we are. Here we are. I'm telling you, in order for Baker Mayfield to be effective, that O-line got to be on point. And I'm telling y'all right now, y'all can spin it how y'all want to spin it. That O-line is going to have to block their tails off. And y'all know it. Y'all know it. Y'all know that O-line going to have to be lights out. But all I'm just saying, to each his own. Understand where the Bucs at. If you don't understand where the Bucs at as far as their trajectory, that's on you. Because you're disregarding the football point of view. You're going off of feelings. There is no such thing as feelings over facts. Because there are some things we do know about the Bucs right now. When it comes to Baker Mayfield, Todd Bowles, the O-line, and the ring. There are hard facts that you cannot deny. No matter how you feel about the Bucs, we have some hard facts about this team. There is some hard facts to swallow. But I prefer facts over feelings. I don't prefer feelings over facts. You can feel like the Bucs going to do a lot of great things. That's cool. But what we do know, what it's factual. Question marks at center. Question mark at right guard. Question mark at right tackle. Question mark at left guard. Question mark with a running game. Question mark at quarterback. Those are facts. Question mark at OC. And before you look, preseason, you only gonna show but so much, but you got to work on some things. There will be some moments where Canal's just gonna struggle. It's just what he's gonna have those games, and he's gonna struggle. He's just gonna get out coached by the opponent's defensive coordinators. It's just gonna happen like that. It's just gonna happen. And there's gonna be some games you're gonna be like, what is Dave Canales doing? What is that? What is this? The first game of the season, he's going against Brian Flores, the Minnesota Vikings DC. And we know Brian Flores can coach defense. We know that. First game of the season, he got to get the kinks out. He got to get the bugs out. He got to figure out how this offense going to look, what plays. We're going to struggle in that game. And we still might win, but we're going to struggle offensively. And we're going to win that game because of the defense. Because Brian Flores can coach defense. We do know that. That's all I'm just saying. And shoot, Mike Vrabel, that Titans defense ain't no joke. Mike Vrabel can coach the defense side. That game ain't gonna be easy. And the 49ers game ain't gonna be easy. Steve Wilkes, the DC for that. I'm just saying. I'm just getting y'all prepared. Gus Bradley, he's an experienced defensive coordinator. He's coached at a high level. I'm just saying. Joe Barry, he's coached at a high level. Aaron Glenn kind of still, fresh around the ears. Gonna be like, the Lions are up and coming. The defensive coordinator for the Panthers that came from the Broncos, though, he had the Broncos at the top level defense. He ain't no joke. We see him twice. Sean McDermott and Buffalo's defense. Good luck with that. I'm just keeping it real with y'all, man. Just Dave Canales, you got to give this man a chance to grow. If you're putting pressure on Dave Canales right now, shame on you. These first 7 weeks, you got to give this man a chance to figure things out with Baker Mayfield. And Rachaad White and Cade Otton and that below average O-line. Even with Tristan Wirfs. There is no guarantee that Ryan Jensen is going to play week 1. He hasn't practiced really at all in training camp. Have you seen our backups? Robert Hainsley get bullied all the time. Oh, yeah, Dennis Allen defense. Yeah, he ain't no joke when it comes to defense. I'm just saying, he's going to have struggles. That's all I'm saying. He's going to have struggles. He's going to struggle. 17 games of the season, let the man grow. Let the man grow. That's all I'm saying. Because if you're running around beating your chest like, oh, Canales going to be a beast, based on what? Oh, because of Geno Smith, he was the quarterback coach, and Geno Smith, that's why the Bucs are going to be a beast. What? That's your reasoning by he going to be a beast? What fan base have you known brag about a first-year OC who's never called plays? What fan? I can't remember a fan base, and I've been in a lot of conversations. I don't remember a fan base bragging about a first-year OC who's never called plays. Never. At college or NFL. And you're running around beating your chest? Based on what? You gotta prop him up. You gotta make other coaches look bad to prop up a first-year OC. That's like a first-year quarterback. He's going to struggle. Inevitable. It's inevitable. He's going to struggle. He's going to struggle. There is no doubt about that. Just like quarterbacks in the first year in the NFL struggle, first-year OCs who's never called plays are going to struggle. It's going to take him some time to figure it out. Coaching quarterbacks and calling plays are so different. Do y'all understand how that works? He has way more responsibility than he had as a quarterback coach. And I'm going to say this one more time. What we cannot do is discredit other coaches to make him look good. It takes time. It takes time. I cannot let you sit here as a football fan in my football thought process. You cannot discredit Shane Waldron, the Seattle's offensive coordinator who actually called plays for Geno Smith to look good. You're going to discredit Shane Waldron to hype up Dave Canales? Shane Waldron is a top 10 OC. Dave Canales is not. What we do know, Shane Waldron can call plays. Dave Canales, we don't know. You got a chance to see it in preseason. Some of y'all wasn't impressed. A lot of bootlegging. Wasn't going anywhere. He had some good play calls, but couldn't run the ball. And I thought we were supposed to be run-oriented. Did y'all know, and I know it doesn't really matter, but did y'all know, I think the Bucs have the worst running game in the preseason? let me go look this up. I don't want to do this, but I just want to look it up. I think the Bucs got the worst running game in the preseason. Is that true? Let's look this up. Let's look this up. I want to look this up. The Bucs are 30 or 30th in the NFL in running the ball in preseason. Come on, man. Oh, man. 30th in the NFL in running the ball in preseason. Dave Canales said we're going to be a run-oriented based offense. So let me guess, we're saving the run plays for the regular season. I'm just saying, y'all got to be careful with Dave Canales. Give this man the chance to grow, man. Y'all putting so much pressure on Dave Canales. Y'all think he's going to be out the gate in this beast mode in every game. Every game, Dave Canales is going to be grade A, perfect. No coordinator is perfect, especially a first-year OC. As a matter of fact, I'll do you one better. Name me a first-year OC who's never called plays that's became beast mode his first season. Name me one. I'm just, and if you can name me one, that's cool. But you still not naming. That's not the norm. He said that's an improvement. So we went from 32nd in the NFL last season to 30th in the preseason. That's a 2 rank improvement, which is good. Congratulations, Tampa. You have improved the running game in preseason. You've shown everybody that you're going to effectively run the ball. Just a little foreshadow here. The Bucs average 69. Bucs are averaging 69 yards in 2 preseason games. Bruh. I'm not saying it, who cares, right? I'm just saying. We can't have no injuries, man. The 2 teams at the bottom is the Texans and the Lions. The Texans are 32nd. We already know they're gonna be terrible. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. The Texans have Dameon Pierce. I think we can agree he's pretty good. The Lions have a rookie running back in Jamar Gibbs. But I'm just saying, I didn't want to see the Bucs that low. That's my point. I didn't want to see the Bucs at 30th in the NFL in preseason and running the ball per game. I really believe Sean Tucker should have got more carries in preseason. He should have got a lot more carries. I didn't want. I know it preseason don't matter. I get it and all that. I just didn't want to see the Bucs that low running the ball in preseason. So that should tell you everything about the Bucs backups. This is why we can't have any injuries. And I'm very curious. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I am very curious to see how the Bucs running game gonna look. I'm very curious because maybe we'll see it this weekend in the last preseason game. Hopefully, we can see the starters in the first half. I know. And Dave Canales, he did say he loved Keyshawn Vaughn. Are you serious? I think Dave Canales is trolling us right there. Dave Canales said he loved Keyshawn Vaughn. Y'all remember that too. Oh yeah, Keyshawn Vaughn, he's good. He's tough. He can run. Fam, he has negative yards in preseason. And then he made it seem like Cal Trask, this and that. The whole time was Baker Mayfield. Dave Canales had input in that too. It's not like Todd Bowles just said Baker Mayfield gonna be a starter. He went to Dave Canales and said, "Man, who can run your offense better?" Dave Canales said Baker Mayfield. 9 passes in preseason games. So you know what to tell me? Here's the funny thing about that, those 9 passes. That tells me the decision was made weeks ago that Baker Mayfield was going to be started months ago. Because there is no way in hell, if you are in a quarterback competition, in a battle for the starting job, and you throw 9 passes, don't play in the second game, and you name the starter. That was not a quarterback battle. Despite the fact that what they said, Todd Bowles and Dave Canales, despite the fact that was not a quarterback battle. That was never a quarterback battle. They picked Baker Mayfield like he was Mahomes or Allen, like, oh, he throw a couple passes. We just put a facade up like he's in a battle. He never was in a battle based on how things played out. If he would have played against the Jets and threw some balls, then it would be like, okay, it's come down to the last game. It was never a battle. The way things played out, it was never when Kyle Trask went back into the game. I knew right then and now, I was like, it was never a battle. If Baker Mayfield would have played against the Jets, I'd have been like, this is a battle for real. But the fact that he did not go back in the game, I mean, he did not go, he did not play, he did not play. That tells you everything right there. All these weeks has passed, all the training camp passes, all the hoopla by the media about the battle and all this. It was never a damn battle. 9 passes and it was a battle? That's not a battle. The only team in the NFL, besides the Cardinals, the two teams that had this quarterback thing, whatever you want to call it, the Cardinals. Well, I'm saying, let me see. The Cardinals, the Colts, the Bucs. Who else? The Cardinals, the Colts, the Bucs. Yeah, the Cardinals, the Colts, and the Bucs. And all three teams got major question marks. At least the Texans, they picked C.J. Stroud weeks ago. At least the Colts, they say, okay, we're going with Anthony Richardson. I think they said last week. I think we were the last team. I think the Cardinals and the Bucs are the last two teams that's not really decided. Well, now the Bucs are decided who the starting quarterback is. I think the Cardinals still playing around with Clayton Tune and Colt McCoy. They're probably going to go with the veteran. That's why I said it's very imperative that you pick your starter early. Even Baker Mayfield even mentioned this. He said, it's good to know that I'm the official starter and I can get in tune with the team. I said this weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, I think. Pick the damn starter. If you're going to pick Baker Mayfield, pick him. Stop playing around so he can build chemistry. So you mean to tell me they were in this quote-unquote battle. So all those reps for Baker Mayfield that he could have got if he was named the starter from the jump, he could have got with Evans and Godwin. Instead, he split all this time with Kyle Trask in a quarterback battle. What was the reason behind that? And then you wait until the week of preseason game number 3 and say, oh, Baker Mayfield the starter, by the way. Like we weren't going to say nothing. I think a lot of us knew this already. We just was wanted y'all to come on and say it. What was the issue? What was the finicky battle for? 9 passes and it was a quarterback battle. The Bucs, Todd Bowles must think we boo boo the foo foo, and then Dave Canales was up here. Oh yeah, Kyle Trask. You know what I'm saying? Selling some of y'all a storyline. And the whole entire time it was Baker Mayfield. Who y'all trying to throw off? Shoot, Baker Mayfield's name alone said he was going to be the starter. But I ain't gonna say they lied, but they played the game like it was a battle. Stop it. 9 passes, that don't tell me it's a battle. That tells me it was Baker Mayfield the whole time. The Bucs trying to sell tickets. Oh, the Bucs are averaging 2.3 yards a carry in preseason. Oh man. Damn. And here's the funny part about it. The 2.38 yards per carry is the worst in preseason. The Bucs have no rushing touchdowns in preseason. I hope this running game does good, man. But let me get back to Kyle Trask. Now, what does it say about Kyle Trask? I'm not saying he a bust, but what did I tell you about the situation? If Kyle Trask cannot beat out Baker Mayfield going into the season, it's a problem. Kyle Trask been with his team going on three years now. Baker Mayfield been with his team for 7 months at best. Really? That tells me, how do they view Kyle Trask? Booty B. They view Kyle Trask as a backup. You picked a backup in the second round? You could have picked Kyle Trask in the fourth or fifth round, and it wouldn't be a big deal. They could have picked Kyle Trask fourth, fifth round. This wouldn't be a big deal. But the fact that you picked him in the second round, goodness gracious. Kyle Trask, pick your head up, man. I know, and you could tell his body language. He's disappointed. He worked hard to win that job. Couldn't cut it. He worked hard. He worked hard this offseason. He got in shape. He got more mobile. He got more lean. He worked with his mechanics. All to be beat out by a quarterback that's been in the organization for only 7 months. You got me going in circles. Oh, Carl Davis, you got me going in circles. I hate to say this, but Kyle Trask at this point is just a Jag. Kyle Trask at this point is just a Jag. He's just a Jag. We need more dogs. We don't need no cats, no meows. You got me going in circles. I saw that video. I was like, damn, Carl Davis, what you doing? Anyway, Kyle Trask is a Jag. He's a Jag, man. He's a Jag. Logan Hall, after this season, we're going to find out if he's a Jag. Luke Gedeke, we're going to find out. Is he just a Jag? Robert Hainsley, is he just a Jag? Just another guy that was picked in the first 2-3 rounds? For all the good that Jason Light has done for this team, and he got a lot of bad too, man. Right, Willie Graham. He's a jit. Yeah, I hear that word. Man, yeah. Luke Gedeke's a jit. He's a jit. It's gonna be rough, folks. But anyway, I'm gonna be as positive as I can be, but I also gotta keep it real. Yeah, exactly. Payday 39. That's how I see it playing out. But I'm just saying, from the perspective as a fan, quarterback drafted by organization, been with the team for 2 whole years, going on 3 now. They signed a quarterback 7 months ago. He becomes a starter. I'm just saying, you've had more experience with the team, and you let another man come in your house and put his feet up on the couch and take the remote? Come on, Kyle Trask. That tells me Kyle Trask's ceiling as of right now. As of right now, Kyle Trask's ceiling is low. He has a low ceiling. He couldn't be at Baker Mayfield. Because there was no other team in the NFL that was going to give Baker Mayfield the starting job. He could have went to the Colts. He wasn't going to get that starting job. He could have went to the Texans. He wasn't going to get that starting job. The Panthers, he ain't going back to the Panthers. Baker Mayfield was not going to be given a starting job. That big bank take little bank. I don't know, man. The Bucs, if the Bucs end up being mediocre, that's 8-9, 9-8. When we'll be picking at what, 16, 17 again? Or do the Bucs tank? Or do the Bucs go 8-9, 9-8? But the more, and this season gonna tell me a whole lot more about the Bucs what they should draft. Because I got a funny feeling, man. I think the Bucs should draft 2 O linemen next year. I don't know why. I think the Bucs should draft a tackle in the first round, and the more I keep thinking about it, draft a tackle in the first round, and move Tristan Wirfs back to the right side and get you a true left tackle. And then you look at Matt Freer's contract. Well, that's a 1-year deal. Go get you another left guard because it's just never going to get right on that O line until they address it for real. Like the Bucs gonna have to do what they did, like they did with Tristan Wirfs. The Bucs gonna have to just suck it up and say we're gonna have to draft a top level left tackle. Move Tristan back to the right side, get you a top left tackle, and solidify your ends. And if Rachaad White don't cut it, you might have to revisit the running back situation in next year's draft. And then the middle linebacker situation, you're gonna have to address that with Levante David. The Bucs got so many. Oh my gosh, bro! You're gonna have to sign Winfield Jr. You're gonna have to sign Tristan Wirfs. You got maybe sign Devin White. It's just so the Bucs are in transition, bro. I'm telling y'all, man, they are in serious transition mode. But Kyle Trask is a jack. Cal, I'm gonna say it like this: Kyle Trask, Luke Gedeke, Robert Hainsley, Keyshawn Vaughn, Zion McCullough, Cole Keith. They're just Jags. They're just Jags. I know. I'm just saying. All the guys I just named are Jags. Logan Hall, Jag. As of right now, he's a Jag. Until they show me something different, all those guys I named are Jags. Logan Hall, Jag. Anthony Nelson, Jag. We already know what he is. Pat O'Connor, Jag. You are a Jag until you show me something at a high level. William Golson, been with the Bucs for a long time, but at this point, he's a Jag. Just another guy. He ain't moving no needles. Anyway, shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining. Baker Mayfield is the starting quarterback for our Tampa Bay Bucs. Folks, I hope you got some tight seat belts. Make sure your seatbelt's tight, folks. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Oh yeah, Joe Tryon, just a Jag. Yep, forgot about Joe Tryon. He's just a Jag. Everybody I named, it's funny how everybody I named has been drafted 2020, 2021, 2022. All the guys I named, last 3 years, last 3 draft classes, not including this one, but the last 3, the previous 3, 2020, 2021, 2022. All the guys I named are Jags. Shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining. With that being said, all the guys I named are Jags. Did I name Rachaad White? No. I think he'll be a good player. I think he's gonna be a good player. I think he'll be a great complimentary back. He's not a Jag. I didn't name Rachaad White, so he's not a Jag. All the guys I named are Jags. 2020, 2021, 2022. You got it's gonna be a lot of we're gonna have some conversation. You got time? You want to talk about crypto? We gonna have a few games like that. We will have a few games. We're gonna talk about some Shiba Inu and some Ethereum. You know what I'm saying? And some XRP and XLM. You know, Algo and Litecoin, ApeCoin, stuff like that. So, fire those cannons, seize the day, raise the flag. Hashtag Baker Mayfield is the starter. Hashtag what's next? Hashtag get ready for the season. Hashtag optimism or expectations. Hashtag probability versus possibility. Hashtag what are we doing? Hashtag why. Hashtag don't get mad at me. Hashtag he's a jag. Hashtag facts over feelings. Please understand that part. Hashtag reality always wins. I'll see y'all soon. Buckles like out. I'm going to bed.